Okay, so before we get to the video, I just want to give a little background information on these lights, where they came from, when they were produced, how did I even come across them. Yeah, it's just a lot. I've been seeing a lot of posts on my feed about Miatas, and I've been seeing these style headlights, the AAC or Oracle flush mount headlights, and I did see a posting locally back in Florida when I used to live in Florida for the lights. And I slept on it. They were pretty good. They were like $100 cheaper than from what I bought them for, but I slept on them, but they kind of grew on me over time. So I did homework. I did lots of research. I tried everywhere. I went on turbomiata.net. I went on many Miata Reddit forums. I'm in a bunch of Facebook Miata communities. So I asked around. I did so much research, tried to find where I can even buy the lights, if I could buy them, which you cannot anymore because they were produced in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. And they are no longer made. They are discontinued unless you find someone who happens to have the mold or can make them, which is pretty rare. There was a point in time where somebody was making them that I found on Reddit, but I don't know if they're even still doing that. So I just posted on Facebook, hey, anyone know any information about these lights? And somebody got back to me, and they said that they had a pair, but they were located all the way in Michigan. I had just moved from Florida to current Arizona. So now my next problem was, how am I going to get lights? We just shipped it, pretty much. Got the lights shipped from Michigan all the way to Arizona. And yeah, now I'm here installing the lights. I figure I'd make a video just because there is no videos. Nothing. There's no installation videos. There's no videos just saying, hey, look at these lights. There's a couple pictures, and they don't even say like what the light is. It's just a picture of that style light, and that's it. So I figure I would try and make a video put together. It's not the best, like, oh, I'm standing here showing you step by step, but it will give you a good reference point for when you're installing, if you do happen to come across this style light and run across some problems, you need some help. This video could be a good reference to installing those lights. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. I am tired as freak. My hands are freaking dirty. I'm tired. I need to go shower. Enjoy the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install the AAC or Oracle flush headlight mount kit for the NA Mazda Miata. This is a 95 year, but I'm sure it's the same for all NAs. Let's get into it. All right, first step you want to do is take off this headlight shroud. It's pretty easy. It's just held on with some clips here. I'm going to be doing this one-handed, so please forgive me. But it's 3 clips. Oh, there goes one already. There's 2 right there, and then the 1 right there. So let's get this off real quick. And yeah, I'll be back in a moment. All right, once you got all those out, you'll be presented with these. These are now junk. At least in my case. Or I'll keep them for when I sell them. You can sell these. Headlight shrouds. I repainted mine so they look a little bit glossier, but boom. That's off. Next step. It's gonna begin down here. We're gonna be taking this off. This holds the AC relays. I'm gonna be moving this hose. They say we need to move the coolant bottle here, which I think is true. So we're probably gonna have to move this now to get to that bolt right there, which I really didn't want to do, but I think we're gonna have to do it anyway. It's gonna be that bolt there, and then that bolt there, which is under the motor for the pop-up motor, And then the other one is right there, also under the pop-up motor. This could be a little bit helpful if you take out, let me zoom in, that 10 right there. There's 3 10s that hold the motor in place. They're like long screws. If you take them out, you can move the whole motor and stuff freely. We will be needing to pop a joint in there, which you can't see right now, until we get this shroud off. So yeah, that was a little breakdown, so let's get to it. All right, so once you loosened up your 3 coolant reservoir 10s, you can now access, which I believe is a 14 millimeter right there. And let's hope this one comes off a little bit easier than the other one that I had to deal with on the driver's side. Okay, so after a good 30 minutes, I finally got these 2 bolts to loosen up. I thought that was gonna be a pain in the butt, that one back there, but these 2, holy moly. I was about to run out of ideas until I got the torch and just straight up torched it. Torched the life out of it. Now we can continue with this install. All right, so at that point, when you get those 2 nuts off, this whole thing is pretty much ready to go. Only thing really holding it in together is your headlight harness here, which is gonna be connected to something that looks like this. These are aftermarket headlights. The LEDs went bad on them, on this one at least. And yeah, so I'm just gonna cut this thing off because I don't have the OEM plug-in, the OEM clip of this. So we'll reuse this to connect to the AAC or Oracle flush mount headlights. All right, so this is what you're gonna be left with. Pretty much the whole headlight housing. If you need to change this top flap right there, it's just these 4 Phillips head screws on both sides. And you can take that little cover off. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep them on, put that light back in there, cut my connector that I need, put this back together, and hopefully sell it. Okay, so once you got the headlight out, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have the kit, or if you're making this homemade, if you're doing this homemade, I really can't help you. If you have the kit, which I hope you do, it's pretty easy. Once you've taken out those 2 13s from the headlight motor, or the actual headlight assembly, you'll reuse those nuts on the bracket that they supply for the headlight mount. It just goes to those 2, and then there will be 1 nut over here in the corner where that 14 was.
Alright, placing the actual headlight bracket in there is pretty easy. Just line up with the 2 bolts that the headlight assembly was mounted to. Just like that. You have that hole there, which will tighten up, and boom.
Make sure your HIDs are on the inner hole there, on the inner eyelet, because the HIDs on the passenger side, they jut out way too far, and they will be colliding with the coolant reservoir tank there. As you see, there's some scratches from when I was trying to figure out why it wasn't going on. I put a picture on the screen on the instructions. I guess I wasn't looking hard enough, or just being a dummy, but the HID needs to be on the inner eyelet or inlet, whatever you want to call that. This is what she should roughly be looking like after you're done with the install there. Lovely AAC or Oracle flush mount headlight kit. There's gonna be some adjustments I need to do. Like, I have a feeling the hood foam stopper, stopping the hood from sitting fully flush on both sides with that gap there, just because I feel like it's pushing up on the hood. It's not letting it close fully flush. Other than that, yeah, this thing looks pretty carbon fiber. Yeah, cool. So we'll get over to my friend's house, wire these puppies up, test them, level them. Successful weekend install. Alrighty, so we are in my friend's shop. We're gonna be doing the wiring here. Alright guys, finally got 1 plug wired up here. This is what we're looking like. It's not gonna be the same colors. I'm DIYing here. But we got the red to our power, blue, our high beam to the power on our HID. And then both of our grounds tied in together. Right? We're gonna come here. That's our connector. You're gonna see a red, white, a red, black, and a black. Red, white's going to be our low beams. Red, black is going to be our high beams. Black is going to be our ground. So we should be all set. Should be all set. They just need to be plugged in. I'm not going to plug them in yet. I'm going to do the other side, test it. If it doesn't work, yeah, we'll go from there. It should work though. Wire, headlight harness back up in the bay there a little bit. Probably going to zip tie it nice and flush here. That red white is going to be our low beam. That red black is going to be our high beam, and that black is going to be our ground. So, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be our wiring here. That red to red is going to our red white, which is our low beams. That blue to red is going to our red black, which is our high beams. And then you'll tie both your light grounds together and tie it into the black there, which is our ground. Make sure you loom, heat shrink, and solder your connections and zip tie them. Make sure you run them in a nice, clean fashion there. Keep everything clean in the engine bay. Nobody likes to see a bundled up mess of wires everywhere. So make sure you loom, zip tie, and just do the proper wiring procedures. These are going to be our low beam lights here. You don't need anything crazy or special to do this. You just need the hella 90mm lights and obviously the flush mount kit. Other than that, it's GM genuine H9 bulbs and Dorman H9 sockets that I found on Amazon. I will put the link in the description, so if you guys do come across this, you guys can just bing, bam, boom, get it right there in the description. These are going to be our high beams here, which are on the outside. Low beams on the inside. And yeah, this was a pretty smooth install. The wiring was pretty straightforward. It's just a 3-wire connection. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the Oracle or AAC flush headlight mount kit installation video. Thank you for watching.